Exactly. Welcome back, everybody. Well, the weather outside is getting a little colder, but the fashion is just heating up. Here with the most gorgeous trends for the fall is editor of Real Style magazine, Afia Francisco.
Hi, welcome. So, you know what, I know as a person in fashion, you have to watch what's happening on the runways, right? You have to see what's coming down the runway.
Always looking at the runway, looking at magazines constantly, and just from that, you get a real sense of what the trends are and what will be the hot things coming up for the season.
But the thing is, when you see it coming down the runway, it's all about show, and you have to interpret those trends and make them work for everyday life, right?
You're exactly right. When you see a show on the runway, it's very theatrical. It's much more. It's for entertainment purposes. Although there are key pieces in there, to wear a look head to toe really can look costumey if you do that off the runway. Okay. So we want to make it look good for real life.
Let's go through all the trends that we have today, okay? And then we'll say how they're going to incorporate them in everyday life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So the first look is.
The first look is geometric prints. So we saw this on the runway head to toe with Prada. And Prada, Miu Miu, they really looked, they had this in a suit. So imagine this one print all the way top to bottom. Looked beautiful on the runway, but for real life, you might want to break it up. And you want to keep in mind that a geometric print is really going to draw attention. So you want to place it where it's going to be flattering on you.
So what, do you look at your body type and you say, okay, if I have fuller hips and I want to kind of slim them down a little bit, don't wear the print down there.
You have got it absolutely right. So that's it. So you want to play up your best features. So here with Katrina, she has great legs, great top. So we really want to focus it up top. The color's beautiful on her. And this is where print really works for her. We kept it very streamlined on the bottom, but really kept it playful by including another bright color as well. And that's how you might want to add that sense of playfulness.
Now, can I ask you a question? Because it's quite, it's like loose and sort of, flowing up on top. Would you do loose and flowing on the bottom, or do you keep it more tailored on the bottom?
I think you want to always think balance. So if you're going loose and flowy on one end, you want to do the opposite on the other end. Not to the extreme, because you don't want it to be overly dramatic, but you want to keep it relatively balanced. And we could have thrown a jacket on this to kind of rein in the Louis-ness of it, but I think it looked really nice like
that. And I love the casual bag. To me, that's just event. Isn't that a beautiful bag, everybody?
I love it. This is from Banana Republic. So
really nice leather, isn't it? Good
it's beautiful, leather. So Banana Republic, you can get things for affordable price, but this is really a key piece. And then the blouse is from Joe Fresh. So what I really love about this is that you don't have to spend a ton of money to update your wardrobe. Really, there are affordable pieces, and one statement piece like this will update your entire look, because you can wear this many different ways.
And, and affordable. I love that. That's fantastic.
Great stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey.
All right, our next look. Our next one is
our next look is
the new leather.
The new leather, right? So that's the key here. So leather, of course, is always a very popular material. But what is different this time around is the way that we're seeing it. We're seeing it in skirts, we're seeing it in blazers and trench coats, and that's what's different. Not the traditional motorcycle jacket that maybe we think.
Or the leather pants.
Exactly.
And this is an A-line skirt. You would never think of seeing it. And why are they changing that and doing it in other, other forms like that of the A-line skirt?
I think it's just a really fun way to make this material a little bit more wearable for every day. So at Real Style, we always want to think, how is this going to be key for people in real life, not necessarily just on the runway. And an A-line skirt is one of those pieces that you could wear to the office. It could work in an everyday corporate environment. Leather this time around is being treated very much like a material like cotton or wool or silk, but we don't typically think of leather in this kind of shape, so that's what we really love about it.
And it's interesting that you said for everyday life, so you can wear this to the office. It's not just, for nighttime clubbing.
Exactly,
It's a beautiful
and you know what I think is great about it is, the leathers now are so supple, and they're like butter. I mean, they just are beautiful, right? So it's not like back in the day when leather was very stiff, and it was just going to go like one way, the next way, the next way. This is flowing more like fabric, it feels like fabric on.
That's exactly right. And this skirt here, again, Joe Fresh, $40.
No way.
So and it's beautiful. You felt it, Chris. It's beautiful, right? Yeah. So you're getting this key trend, and really you're not breaking the bank to do it. And like you guys had mentioned before as well, it's all about mixing the textures as well. So we're not just seeing leather and head to toe leather. We're breaking it up. So we have the tweed, we have the silks, we have the all the different things happening.
I love what you did with the shoe, the booty. The little booty is so great.
We are seeing a lot.
I love that.
Yeah, I like it as well, and particularly for skirts. You may of course, it works well with pants, but
Yeah.
with a skirt, it's a really different cut that we're seeing now.
Yeah.
And this is fun. These are Banana Republic as
Now, can I
well.
ask you a question about body types again? Now, if you have a shorter leg, is that a good idea if you're wearing a skirt? Maybe not?
It may cut your leg
Like,
off, so you want to
right?
be careful about, that's a great question.
Where
You
it
want to
sits.
be careful of where your skirt sits.
Yeah.
So if it's in and around the knee, you probably can get away with it.
Yeah.
But if your legs are quite short, then you probably
Yeah.
would want to either add an opaque tight, because then it'll serve to make the whole leg look
Great
longer.
idea. So the
Yeah.
same colors
The
going
same
all
color
the way
of the shoe,
down.
exactly.
That's really
and you
great.
keep things monochromatic,
Great.
and that serves to make it
Nice.
elongated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looks fabulous.
And we have another color as well. But remember the color of that skirt.
That's right.
Because the
exactly.
color of that skirt is coming up in Jay's outfit, which
That's
is
right.
the new suit.
We're calling this the new suit because
The new suit.
typically when we think of suits, you know what you're going to get. You get your blacks, your browns, your navies. Yeah.
That I want that suit.
I love
need this suit.
It's
You
great.
look great in that.
So
I want
this is from
that.
H&M. So again, we're thinking price.
Affordable.
We're thinking
Yeah.
affordability
Yeah.
here. I think in its entirety, this look can be gotten for in and around $200. So that's a suit.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
For a
really
men's
well.
suit, that's like giving it away for free.
Isn't it? And the color here, it's the somewhat controversial ox blood, they're calling it.
I call
Yeah.
it wine.
Some people are saying Bordeaux if you want to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
or,
if you want to be tacky like me, call it wine. It's wine. It's wine.
That works. And burgundy, of course, as well.
Burgundy, yeah.
All of the same thing, but this is the color for fall, not only for women, as we saw in Mara, but also for men as well. You could just do the jacket open
Okay.
with a pair of jeans, and I think that maybe that's kind of tiptoeing into the trend.
Right.
This look was very much seen on the runway,
Yeah.
but even more so because there were patterns involved as well. We toned it down a little bit with just the white top,
You have
but
to.
really what makes the suit current and not like reminiscent of the 70s is that you
Right.
really want it to be fitted and streamlined.
It's the cut of the jacket,
It's the cut
it's
of
the
the
cut of
jacket
the pants.
is key here because otherwise it will start to look a little
Less
retro.
boxy, a little shorter, so it looks a little more fitted
That's
and tailored.
exactly
Great
right.
job.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, we're back with the editor of Real Style magazine, Afia Francisco, and we're checking out some stunning fall fashion.
The
that you've got
stuff
here.
is looking
Beautiful.
really great. I love how you're interpreting for every day. It's
Yeah.
looking good.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys said that.
Okay, so you know what? The next one here, we got our model Mara coming out, and she's wearing the sexy military look.
Yeah, so we were talking about this. Military is one of those trends, quote unquote, that comes back every season. So to call it a trend almost seems like a misnomer. But
Yeah.
what does change is the cut and the incarnation of it, right? So this time it's more feminine, it's sexier than we've seen in a really long
And
time.
that must make it easier
Yeah.
to wear, right?
Yeah.
Sexy, because before it was kind of very masculine,
That's
boxy,
right, and it
yeah.
could be boxy, it could add volume, but
Yeah.
this time it's very streamlined, it's very fitted as we see. Not necessarily tight, but fitted.
Yeah.
And it just has this really good feminine quality to it.
And again, you can't go overboard with it, right? You have to be careful. You can't start doing the military pants with the military jacket and a little pair of boots. I mean, that starts looking
and
costumey
camo.
and a little camo. It's
Exactly.
like, whoa.
Exactly. You want to pick
Yeah.
some key elements, and sometimes it can be as subtle as gold button details.
Okay.
Those kind of things nod to military without being too over the top.
So you
Right.
don't want a little bit of everything, like all
Exactly.
over the place.
That's right. You don't want to necessarily have your camouflage with your
Yeah.
green. That would be a little over the top.
Yeah, I just think that the gold denim is out of this world. Those
And
are
this wax look,
beautiful,
that's
the
another
wax
trend we're
look.
seeing a lot
I
of,
was going
right?
to say, so this is
Wow.
now a second trend as well, because
Yeah.
denim is all over the place with fall, and this is one of the key looks. The metallic wax, all those finishes
Okay,
are
let's
really
do the
big.
age thing though, because
Yeah.
is there a certain age where you should probably not be wearing the waxed gold denim? I'm just wondering. It looks great on you, baby. It looks great on you, but I'm just wondering, you know.
You know what?
Can't
Fair
see my
enough.
mom running down the street in a pair of these. She's a good-looking lady, but you know what I'm saying.
Fair enough. You know what? I think that maybe you want to tone it down a notch. Then maybe it's how you pair it. So imagine like with a great oversized wool sweater that hits your knee, and you're just getting a
Okay.
little hit of the metallic. Then I
edges
think
then.
all of a sudden it just transforms itself a little bit. So it's not metal, like it's a
That's
little
nice.
bit more subtle.
So it
and I
can
think
be
it
for
would-
everybody.
I think it can be.
I
think
like
it
that.
can be.
Thank you so much, Heidi.
Thank you.
Our next one is Katrina, and this is really interesting. Baroque and Monarchy.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
find this interesting.
So,
What runways were you seeing this one on?
we saw this. Dolce & Gabbana really kind of was at the forefront of this.
Okay.
It's really opulent. It's dramatic. This is very much theatrical on the runway.
On the runway,
This
it
is like they had headpieces, they had capes. It was a very dramatic look.
Too
And,
much.
yeah, in the magazine, in Real Style, we were calling it Monarchy because it really was several trends that all kind of was reminiscent of like Versailles or like an old world palace.
Really?
So we're seeing this beautiful embroidery, we're seeing gold details, we're seeing Baroque influences, and that's all coming together here. It sounds like it could be over the top.
It could be if you're doing
but
it all over again.
If you're doing it all over again. It's
so here, you've just done the top.
Here, we've just done the top. And I hope that you can see the detailing here. It's an Elizabeth and James blouse from Holtz. And
gorgeous.
It's just gorgeous. To see it in person,
really
like, it just has this beautiful quality to it. And it really nods to this trend quite clearly. And again, with the bracelet as well, this is also from Holtz. And they have some really great collaborative pieces happening this season.
Right.
Because it's their 175th anniversary. This is Alexis Bitar. And they have had all these designers come in with key pieces to celebrate the anniversary.
And
this
it does
being
feel
one
a
of them.
little bit
But it still nods to the trend. Exactly.
Yes.
But
we're
it
seeing
has a
lot of
modern
it.
edge. It's not sort of like big gaudy royal jewelry.
That's exactly right. It's not stuffy. It's very streamlined. And it can go over the top, as we said, but you want to just be cautious to not do it head to toe. You want to break it up. And here we added these great heels. I have to give them a little shout out. They're Walmart, $20.
Right.
$20.
Super cool. Yeah.
And look at the heel, guys. Let's have a look. So turn to the side, sweetheart. Because the heel is where it's at. I love that.
Yeah.
Look how cute that heel is.
It's a wearable heel, so even if you don't love the major heel height, this is a way to get a little bit of the heel in there without killing yourself. You're not going to topple over. It's
Absolutely.
a nice,
Thank you so much,
Beautiful.
Gorgeous job. Okay, what's our next
The
one?
next one's really fun. This one's on. This is Jay.
This is for the guys again. So this is Heek Chic is what we're calling it. So despite the name, it is very cool, right?
I think it's going to be good.
So here we go.
That is Geek Chic.
This is what's Geek Chic. And really what it is, it's made up of the typically quintessential geek pieces, right? So we have our cardigan and our bow tie, and
It's adorable, though, I gotta say.
It looks really cute. And you know, of course, the level on the spectrum that you want to go with it. So at home, if your husband's this, they're like, I wouldn't do this in its entirety. Of course,
I
you
think
can
all of your husbands are going to say that.
and, you know, picture my husband
I
at
would
home,
totally
too.
wear this, but I think I'd have to be a couple of years younger. I'd have to be maybe 26, 3 years younger, and I would do this.
And you would
It's a fun look, though.
But
I
it's
think
very
it
fun,
is.
and I think it is wearable depending on how you break it up. So really what it is that you want to bring in the fresh, modern pieces to make it a little bit more fresh. So we have our denim, for example. We have, you know, cool little runners happening here.
The socks, though. It's about the socks.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
The smart socks, and
But
I love
back in the day, the geeks wore like little stripy socks,
That's right. And now we're doing
But now all the cool kids are wearing them.
all the cool, and honestly, like front row at Fashion Week, people are actually checking out each other's socks now. Like people across, and they're tweeting about it. They're like, "Oh, I'm sitting across from Sunny with fluorescent pink socks." It's a key part of your outfit now.
Again, the bow tie, come on, and the cardigan, so adorable. I think it's cute.
And even if you don't do it all together,
just do
you
one or the other.
do one piece, and that will be your nod towards the trend.
You did a great job.
Fantastic, honey.
So
Fantastic.
beautiful.